A lot of women, they sacrifice their own life just for the sake of their family, because they got married early in their life, and they just put in the 100% of themselves into the service of the family. I am calling it a service to the family because you have just indulged yourself.
That is probably one of the hardest transitions I've heard for women to make, is to go from a life of service to others, which is a beautiful, incredible thing. Without mothers, how do we grow? Or fathers that act like mothers? How do we know how to navigate the world without our parents? So living life in service to another is an incredible sacrifice and an incredible, beautiful thing. Break the isolation. You are not alone. Together, you can grow with other women like yourself and do things that are amazing. Not to say that the things that you have already done are not amazing. Raising a family, incredible.
The world is so negative right now. So negative. Um, I see women completely overburdened with this work from home culture. Why? Not
Yes.
just directly, but indirectly as well. Now that everybody is home, a lot of expectations on them have suddenly increased. Right?
Yes.
They have to just double the work. Now that everybody is chilling at home, they have to double their work.
Yeah, that is so true. That is incredibly true. I mean, it's probably was a nice thing when children went out to school or husband went to work off out in the world, gave some downtime, maybe some time to think. Now everything's around all the time. How can people think in a world like that? You have to make space. You have to make space for yourself somehow. It is important to find that little bubble of space. I don't
Exactly.
know. Find it wherever you can. Fight for it. It's important. I don't understand how people can recharge and without having some space. And I know physically in cultures around the world, not my own, I am so grateful for where I am today. That the houses are very small, and to have space in a place that doesn't have an outside is hard. I probably would spend a good portion of time meditating. Meditating. I think I would put a lock on the bathroom door and meditate.
Yeah, whatever helps. You know what, Rebecca, I'll share you one very quick, very silly incident. I like to tease my mother for what she does for her me time. And you know what she will do is she will neglect everybody. Do hell with yourself. Okay? And she will and what she will do is she will, surf her internet, surf her phone, WhatsApp, whatever she likes to do, and we'll keep calling her, give her, give me some water, give me some food, or she will be like, this 1 hour is me time. Give me
Nice.
my me time and just get over.
Yes, that is beautiful. Yay for your mom.
9 people in the house, and she's like 24/7. I'm listening to you guys. Give me 1 hour for myself, right?
Yes. Fight for it. And, at that time, people will learn that they can get their own food, that they can get their own water. It's an hour. And if they have to wait for her to do it, then that's what I guess they'll do.
That's right. So,
Yes.
hats off to all the moms, all the women out there. You
Yes.
are so special and incredibly loving, because not only you are living for yourself, but each member around you at your place. So, which
Yes.
is commendable.
One of the most important jobs we can have. Yes.
What is your one advice for women who are young and who want to be great leaders in future? What are the some mistakes that you want them not to do?
I don't want them to be alone. I I struggled in my life, feeling like I had to do things by myself, and I believe that that made it so much harder for me. That if I brought people in and allowed them to support me and nurture me in my growth, getting mentors, talking about the things that stopped me from taking the next step, that would have been so integral. I just could have done so much more. So don't be alone. Don't feel alone. Bring people in. Give yourself a support system. Give yourself people who can help you grow. They can be men, they can be women. Bring in the people that you're interested in, because maybe you'll find out if you talk to them, you're not so interested in that anymore. And that's okay too. Exploration and understanding ourselves is just a very important journey we have to take. So women, young women in tech, bring in people, explore ideas, get your support system, and then just rock it. Keep going and going and going.
Rebecca, what is one thing that you could have avoided when you started as a leader, when you were very young, and after 25 years of experience? That's crazy. When I say 25 years, it's like, my gosh, it's so difficult to survive and continuously grow and just be as awesome as you are today.
I guess the one thing that I would have done differently, as I said, would be to not feel alone. And if I felt alone, I would have wanted myself to reach out more. And that is so hard sometimes. It is just so hard how the things in our worlds make us feel that we cannot break out. And so I would say, at all costs, break out. Women who are enemies of other women, I imagine that their life has been very, very hard, that they have been molded into someone who has to undermine another person to feel successful, to feel powerful. When I see that happen today, I try to address it. Again, with those hard conversations, but one must always go with the expectation that their opinion is not going to change. Why? Because I don't think I'm all that powerful necessarily. There's a lot of things that happen in our lives that make us become who we are. Sometimes I feel it is my responsibility to try to show a mirror to those people who are so hurt. I think they must be so hurt. So maybe showing them more compassion, even if it isn't, is where I need to go with that.
Yeah. And it is so important to address this question. I'm thankful to the person who has posted it, because it is important to address. Often we see women criticizing women, women for not being acceptable and, completely, encouraging what different choices the other women has in life. It is also often seen, because she is not doing like me, she's wrong.
Yes. And that's not right.
That's not.
We need everybody in this world to make it the creative, wonderful, mind awe-inspiring world that we have. And sometimes it takes those, those people who put down others to let me see my joy, to see where I am succeeding and in essence, excelling beyond that woman.
One more question coming from Sneha. Hard work doesn't really make me tired, but a thought that why only am I supposed to do this or that? Why can't they also contribute specially?
Yeah.
This makes me laugh, but this is so serious. This is so serious, especially in India. Trust me, Rebecca, it is so serious in India.
Yes, I am sorry that your family does not think they need to contribute.
No, it's like applied to everybody, trust me, because they have divided work based on gender.
Yes.
I don't know why.
The United States very much is the same way, or has a history of being the same way. It has taken outspoken women, and it has taken wars where women could move into the roles of men, where men were removed. It has taken much, much time and persistence at highlighting who we all are. You know, there might just be a guy out there that wants to do housework. It may be icky, but my brother, he raised his children and his wife went to work. So in my own family, there was a total change. My brother was Mr. Mom, and he excelled in that nurturing role. And his wife had a PhD and she went to work. And because they didn't stick to those roles that everybody else says they should be in, their family is incredibly successful. But we have to speak up all the time around things like that. Allow people to be who they are.
Exactly. And the next moment she says, how to overcome that thought. Sneha, seriously, you made it so engaging and nice. How to overcome that thought? You're not thinking it wrong. You're thinking it right.
I would start saying mantras. I am okay. I don't have to be the one. Sometimes we need to do a lot of self-talk, meditation to help ourselves believe the things we want to believe. So yes, it is hard to overcome that way of thinking.
It is hard, especially it's been years of legacy of men doing this, women doing this. It's not one person who can make a change, but I always believe you should be the change maker. Start it on your own level.
That's right.
Because we also deserve a life, right?
Yes, we do. And hopefully it's the life we want and not the life we've been given. We need to appreciate what we've been given, but we need to make what we want.
Rebecca, when you speak, it's like my goosebumps. I'm going to that thinking mode. This is deep. This is really deep. I'm sure everybody is enjoying listening to you. I'm not sure everybody joined that moment when Rebecca said, it's beautiful to have disturbance in meetings because it feels like somebody's child is crying, somebody's pressure cooker is working, but it feels home.
Yeah. I have been invited into your homes in ways that I could not have been before.
Yeah.
So thank you for letting me be there with you.
That's beautiful. I've never heard something I've never heard. Just coming back to your life now, there could be some hardships also, though you belong to a very moderate, very, developed nation with a lot of broad-minded attitude in people. But also, I see that discrimination all over the world. Of women are supposed to do that, men are not supposed to do that, and stuff like that. What is one thing that you faced on your personal level, and how did you grow up? Came out of it very beautifully.
That's a difficult question. There have been lots of challenges, lots of places that I have fought to grow. So my parents divorced when I was very young, and my mother, where we lived was not an affluent area, and there was all of us were together, and this is where I had such a wonderful mesh of different people. But it was a very angry place as well, because I think it's clear that when people don't have a lot of money to achieve what they think they need to achieve, there's a lot of pain, there's a lot of anger, and yet there's a lot of love and a lot of creativity that can happen simultaneously. And I have to say that I was not the nicest of people when I was younger. I was angry. I was very, very angry. And it took a lot to stop and to think and to move, because I felt so trodden down that the people that I interacted with, the things I chose to do, and today I can go back and say, I chose this. it's a transformation to go from you did this to me, or it did this to me, or these circumstances made me, to I made my choices. I can be something else. I can create something else. I can learn something else. So going from the struggle to go from an angry young woman who felt victimized, and in many ways I was, with who I hung out with and what I did, to a more enlightened person. I was able to get out of the city, which was very important for me. I needed to leave New York City to go to college. I went to college. I couldn't afford it. I got lots of loans and paid them off most of my life. But it was in college that I could start to begin to come out of that victim and no longer be oppressed as a female, no longer be oppressed by my circumstances. Education was one way that I was able to lift myself up. And if the places in our world that are now coming to try to educate women, to try to lift them up from being oppressed, the ability to read, just read, is not something we should take for granted, because just 50, 60 years ago in the United States, that was still a problem. Not everybody could read. Not everybody had the right to have education. So just bringing in ways that you could experience education, either if it's not formal but informal, to help bring yourself, lift yourself up, and try to get connected to your spirit, whether you call your spirit God or Allah, or bringing together how you are connected with other people is so important.